हाँ जी, अल्लाह लहो तो क्या कहो, कहो ताको उपकार, बटक बीच में रव रहो, जाको तीन लोक विस्तार। सो ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ one meaning ਏਦਾਂ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ we can find him, but even if we find him, तो क्या कहो will not let us explain him because he is beyond our senses and we cannot explain him completely. And then kaho tak upkar, that if we cannot explain something completely, then it will be of no use and that explanation is not going to help anyone. So that is how I was taking this kaho to ko upkar means it is not going to benefit anybody else because it will be a incomplete. And then again this as we have discussed in Japji Sahib, that if it is a framework, this understanding, or it is a riddle which we have to solve by ourselves, and then there are multiple things we need to solve. So somebody cannot explain this if we are not putting our effort in it. And then it is saying that बटक बीज में रव रहे हो जाको तीन लोक विस्तार. So now, because in Gurbani we have also, there are other references like sagal बनस्पत मह बसंतर सगल दूध में किया, ऊंच नीच में है ज्योत समानी घट घट माधो जिया. So, and then in Japji Sahib we also had that asan loy loy pandar, that he is in his creation. So creator is in the creation and it is in the way. And then they have given the example that it is the smallest seed which turns out to be the biggest tree. And then asan loy loy pandar, and then that presence is there in three loks. So that again certifies that it is beyond our imaginations. We cannot describe it completely, and one's definition or understanding is not going to help the other person. Sikhi is something to practice, and we have to practice it, apply it, learn it, and then refine it again and again. And it should be our unique definitions. And then depending on the situations, our practice may be a little bit different. So that is how I see this one. Thank you.
Well, I was reading the translations, two or three translations to understand this one. And my understanding is, the way I was thinking was, the first word, Allah, whether you call it something which cannot be found or whether you refer it to Allah, I will leave up to the expert to tell me. But my understanding is basically here that what you are going to do, even if you are able to conceptualize that which cannot be found, because Gurbani, there's so many places the God has been referred as akar. There's no shape, no form. It's totally an abstract reality, and everybody is going to conceptualize it differently. So, what Kabir Sahib is saying here, my understanding is, even if you are able to conceptualize it, you are not able to explain to anybody. What is the use of that? Upkar is basically what benefit it's going to do to you or to anybody else, because you would not be able to explain. It's just like your mind. You can't explain how it looks like. Just like Jyot, you can't explain how Jyot looks like. This is just a conceptualization of very abstract reality which is out there, which Guru Sahib has said right at the outset, Ikyunkar, God is one, and we believe, we have faith in that, but we don't know what that identity is, what that entity is. Guru Sahib had explained a lot of attributes of Akal Purakh, and we have to conceptualize. So my understanding of Akar here is that yes, it could be something, even if we are able to find, conceptualize, we cannot explain to anybody. So there's not much use in that. Sorry about that.
So, you're saying that even if anyone able to understand Vaheguru or Nirankar, but they will not be able to explain to someone, or even if they try to explain to someone, they will not be able to grasp it. That means it is useless activity.
No,
To
no, no,
try
no,
to
no, no, no. It's not useless. No, what it's saying that we can conceptualize it, but and of course we can tell how we conceptualize it, but we are not able to comprehend it. That even if I, for example, if I explain that this building looks like that, you are going to start, unless you see that one, you cannot have the real picture of that. So upkar means that it's not going to be a lot of benefit to you, because whatever I'm trying to explain, that you are able to grasp it, you cannot grasp the exact thing what I'm trying to explain, because that's in my mind, my experience. And in
Can
that sense, you
I
see, it may not be that beneficial, but it doesn't mean that it's totally useless. No.
can I add something to what Veerji said?
Anji, please go ahead.
So I was thinking कि ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਪਕਾਰ word ਦਾ meaning ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰਵ ਦਾ meaning ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬੀਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ related ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬੀਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੈ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬੀਜ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਹਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਖੋਜਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲ ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਘਰ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਏ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖਾਲੀ ਇਹ ਦੱਸ ਦਾਂਗੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਪਿਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਉਪਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਸੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਸਿਮਿਲਰਲੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਵੀ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਲੱਭ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਘਰ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਉਪਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੀਜ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਹੈ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਫੀਲ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਲੈਣ ਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਕਲੀ ਮੀਨਿੰਗ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮਿਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੀ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਕੋਈ ਉਪਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖੋਜੋ ਤੇ ਸਹੀ ਬੀਜ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਟ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟਡ ਟੂ ਐਡ
Anji, thank you, Virji.
If you read Kansi Nabha, he gives about 5-6 meanings for the word upkar. He also says sahayata, madad, then palai, neki. So, anukulta, naukri, chakri, meherbani. So these are the sort of indications. But if you read the whole story, Allah knows. Allah is in us, inside us. Allah is not Vaheguru. He will talk about Vaheguru when he talks about Omkar. This is the way how you proceed in Gurmat. You have to make a connection with Allah. Who has to make a connection with Allah? It's your man. In both these Pauri is very clear. That is an action of your man. Man has, Allah is man's father. There is a Shabad by Kabir. Allah is nothing but sitting inside you and Noor is the man. Man is born, that's why the creation has started. Kudrat hai usse. Bande nahi hai, janani bande, it's not male, female. Kudrat ke sab bande, everyone is in the hukam. You want to understand it? As for my understanding, Allah na ho to kya kaho, kaho tako upkar. We can only describe his virtues, his actions. So that's what upkar means for me here. In which way Allah is scattered in this world? Is Allah in ek beej mein rab rahe ho? As a seed contains a form of tree in him, everyone has got Allah in us. And it can attain the form of a tree. And in that form, it becomes Parbrahm. So he will take us very nicely all through the bavan-akhri, all these stages which we normally I talk. What is Brahm, what is Parbrahm, what is... So here Allah is your Brahm, and we have to join with Brahm. And the next Pauri will absolutely clarify what our doubts are. So I will only say that much. Mean his virtues. If I come in connection, no one else has described, even you read Quran, nothing like that has been told about Allah. And Kabir is questioning what is the reality. Why don't they say these things? So this is how it's a lot of history in these things. Why he starts with Allah? He's not Muslim. But we use both words, Allah and Ram. Naam Hindu na Musliman, this is what Gurmat says, Allah Ram ke pind paran. The one who is breathing inside us, whether you call him Allah or Ram is not a problem. So he's trying to tell that wine is like a seed and it can grow further to become a tree. Thank you.
Okay, thank
क्वेश्चन
you.
ਸੀਗਾ
Hanji Garam, please go ahead.
ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਬਈ ਅੱਲਾ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਇਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਹ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਪਏਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਿੰਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਬਈ ਅੱਲਾ ਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸੀਕੁਐਂਸ ਹੈ
So, are you asking like why he's considering Allah as a Brahm here?
I'm asking ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੁਣੇ ਕਿ ਬਈ ਅੱਲਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਇਹ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਆਏਗਾ I thought ਕਿ ਅੱਲਾ ਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਲੈਰਿਟੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਏਗੀ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਧਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਦੱਸਿਆ
There are three stages. We are not going to see the Parbrahm in two stages. The first stage is that your man has to agree to Allah. Then it merges in Allah and then Allah goes to Parbrahm. But our Tikakars are never clarified. They never knew about it because at that time I think they never had that thought.
But that's what we all also assume. So you are saying this will get clarified later on in bavan-akhri, this concept itself.
Yeah. The whole story is to clarify this thing.
Okay, then we'll wait.
Yes, I needed clarification on the word Allah. It is not Allah, it's Allah. And if we are translating Allah to Allah, Allah is normally, as I think Gagandeep was saying, Allah is normally referred to God. जो वाहिगुरु कहने हैं. So, is there some other entity we are talking about? As Gurjeet Viji was saying that Brahm is going to be after that, and if we are translating the word Allah to Allah, then there should be any other entity, unless I'm misunderstanding the word Allah.
Hanji, Gurjeet Viji?
Allah, whenever there is a sound of ha-ha, whenever there is a ha-ha in any letter, in any word, the sound gets modified. Either it goes into dalama on the previous letter or it goes into kanna. So you read any word which has a ha-ha in the end, you say shahr. The shahr word, if you say it doesn't even have ha-ha, it has ha-ha in the middle, but you say that it's written sassa ha-ha rara, but you put dalama on sassa to say it's shahr. If you don't say it's shahr, you say it, still you have to put Allah is written in different form. There's another form, Ada Lalle Nukanna. That's also a form available in Gurbani. So whether you say Allah or Allah, it depends, means we don't want to be, but we have to describe that entity, that who is Allah. So Allah is nothing but our moon.
Gurjeet, then that raises a question which not clear to me, that when we talk about Vaheguru, Akal Purkh, Allah, I thought that is a reference to that Almighty, Brahma, Parbrahm, whatever you call it.
In Gurbani, Allah, Ram, Prabh, Gur, they never refer to Vaheguru. They always refer to Brahma or Puran Brahma. I've written it on my blog. They will never ever refer to Parbrahm. Yes, in Muslim literature, they may be, that's why they said Hindu Anna Turku Kana, because he doesn't know what Allah is actually. Ayunu Kana likha, because he can't describe the Allah actually, in what sense it was to be followed. Oh, Allah nu main we have a father of Allah in Gurbani, which is Parbrahm. Allah in itself can't do anything. Allah has to go through the force. Parbrahm is the Shakti of Allah. So Allah will always be coming. It will come few more times within this bavan-akhri. Another time it will come, and we will be very careful that it. But unluckily, the teacher not followed the theme. They thought you can directly merge into Shabad. No, Shabad Surat da male hai. Shabad और मन da male नहीं है. मन ने सुरत बनना है पहला. Then Surat da Shabad नाल मेल है. So we are attaining towards Allah ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੁਰਤ ਹੈ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੇਲ ਹੋਣਾ. ਮਨ ਦਾ ਅੱਲਾ ਚ ਹੋਣਾ, which will be very nicely ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਲੈਰੀਫਾਈ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ. ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਪੌੜੀ ਅਗਲੀ ਪੌੜੀ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਮਝ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. this theme is continuing in this whole bani.
Okay, so if I repeat my question, Virji, is it alluding towards that Vaheguru is not separated from us and he is not managing things outside? Is anybody else also getting that kind of message or not?
ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ, ਭਵ ਸਾਗਰ ਸੁਖ ਸਾਗਰ ਮਾਏ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਤਾਂ ਟੌਪ ਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ. ਜਿਹੜਾ 3 ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ, 3 ਲੋਕ ਇਜ਼ ਵਿਦ ਇਨ ਦਾ 4th ਲੋਕ. ਤਾਂ ਹੀ 3 ਲੋਕ ਤੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ. I think we have not understood 3 ਲੋਕ very nicely. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ 3 ਲੋਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਪਾਵਰਫੁਲ ਔਰ ਅਸਥੂਲ ਇਜ਼ ਪਾਵਰਫੁਲ.
ਵੀਰ ਜੀ
so 4th ਲੋਕ is guiding it.
ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਨ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦ 4th ਲੋਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਹਾਊ ਆਰ ਵੀ ਅਸਿਊਮਿੰਗ that's where I get confused.
ये देर ਤੇ 3 ਲੋਕ ਤੋਂ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਚੌਥੇ ਪਦ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ. so where you will be attaining, because the thing we should just be building on this. Our questions will be clarified within this whole, it's written in such a nice way, we'll be left with no doubt by the time we finish.
So
all
I
these
think
doubts will be there.
So I think we can do this, right? We can assume these 2 possibilities. One, we can assume ਕਿ ਬਈ ਅਸੀਂ Allah ਹੀ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਹੈ, ਉਹ meaning ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ, we can assume what you are saying is ਕਿ ਬਈ Allah ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਸੁਰਤ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸੁਰਤ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. ਇਹ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਅਸੰਪਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਐਂਡ ਜਦ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ.
ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਜੀ, ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਜੁਨੀ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ. you have to be very clear about it. ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਲਣਾ, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਜੁਨੀ ਚ ਆਇਆ, ਮਿਲਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਲਾ ਵੀ ਜੁਨੀ ਚ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾ. ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਜੁਨੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੈ. ਇਸ ਲੋਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਜੂਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ how they have to become one and go back to Parabram. Early stage hai, first you have to be one with your Allah.
And that is where you are also saying कि भी तो को doesn't mean in a question way. It is just saying कि वे मैं अगर कहांगा भी ते मैं तेरे उपकार तेरे कर्म ही कहांगा. जिवें तब सर्व नाम कथे कवन कर्म नाम वर्णत सुमत. जिवें मैं कर्म नाम तेरे वर्णन कर सकदा, केवल तेरे उपकार ही दस सकदा.
कीर्तन नाम कहे जा सकते हैं. We can only say कीर्तन नाम, क्योंकि लखे ऊपर भी if he says what was the last paragraph, he has put that jas ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ. let me see what it says there. जह बोलते मन ना रहा बोल बोल मद है सोई जस है, जस वो है तो तस लखे ना कोई. there is nothing we can, our own jot. Let's forget about everything else. We have to become one with our own jot. Kabir ji says, which I can emphasize. That's why whatever has been said is still not enough. A katha hai. You can't finalize it. It will be keep on adding, because there is nothing to compare like that in Maya. So whatever he is trying to tell, whatever Bhagats have told, is all Naam. From Naam you have to form a framework within your wisdom. Kis tarah da ho sakda. But he is not concrete that he's like this, he's like this. He could be like this, he could be like this, he could be like this. This all is going on.
हाँ जी.
This Parbrahm, is separate from us, then is there can we draw a line between the Parbrahm and this Ram or Puran Brahm, what Virji is saying? Can we draw a distinct line between these two?
Hanji, हाँ, there is a very distinct. Firstly, you have to become one, which is what Kabirji is saying here. He says, in the next part, it will be very clear, apangached. You have to attain a stage of apangached, then you grow as a tree. That is Parbrahm. So Parbrahm is nothing but it is a group of Puran Brahms. So the whole idea of Gurbani is how to become Puran Brahm.
Okay,
Because
no, that is fine then.
If Brahms, what you're talking about, can you clarify for me, please?
That yes, there is a distinct line, but again, the distinct line is that we are part of that whole, but we are not the whole, and there are other things which constitutes the whole, and there is a bigger whole.
Well, I always said when you say we are part of the whole, there's nothing we is our mind. That we use the word we, but we don't exist, it is our mind. So you are saying that our mind, which is collection of thoughts, is then from there you go into a group of, to me, I need to sit back and think, group of Parbrahms are there, we are not. This my understanding when I read Gurbani says very clearly. I don't know the panktis here that between me and that akal, the final destination we want to go, there's only one thing, and that is a guru. There are panktis very clearly. There is Vachola there, nobody else is there. But when we talk about these different levels of Parbrahms, Purabrahms, I get a little mixed up here. But when I look at the Gurbani, I thought there's only one Vachola and nobody else.
Parbrahm is army, you see, but army is made up of soldiers. Army is a collective noun. Army is a singular collective noun. So hukam is nothing, but the hukam is the power of all the Parbrahms acting in one synchronization. But the hakam in itself is a Puran Brahm. See, the ocean is made up of, so there are shabads like they say, sagar mein boond, boond mein sagar. That the whole of the hukam, the Parbrahm is working on the basic unit of Puran Brahm. So as Harvinder has said, we have to become one with ourselves. We have to become soldiers. Once you are a soldier, you are in the army. So this is what Gurbani says. So I think, is it clear or we need to make it even more simpler? Let me know.
Hanji, Paramjit Virji.
I'm very dumb in these things.
No, I think you're asking the valid questions, because I think these concepts, this Puram Brahm, Brahm or Parbrahm are not referred in general when we read the existing tikas or any other translations available.
I think inside the thing, these are so abstract things we are talking, and actually I spent last 3 weeks working on just thinking about these things, connecting with. Okay, first my question, I go back to that. To understand Gurbani, we need to understand that who is the we. Okay, and I came to understand that it is all mind. Then we have to understand how mind. What is mind? Okay, when you say we have to connect with ourself means, what does that mean?
Hanji, I think the Japji Sahib starts with that. It asks the questions that what we are thinking is the connection or connect to ourselves. It starts with that kiv sachiara hui hai, kiv kude tutte pal, and it says that hukam rajai chalana nanak likhe naal. So we have to understand and operate in the hukam, and I think we are saying the same thing, that we have to swim with the hukam, not against it. And then I think Virji, you are also saying the same thing when you say that it is the mind, because that बटक बीज में रव रहे हो जाको तीन लोक विस्तार, that the creator ਜਿਹੜੀ with the creativity or the power which we have, it is driven by our thoughts and mind, and then we have to use that in line with the hukam, and that is the connection, that we are not going against the hukam and mind is driving that. So it is the same thing, either we say mind or or because our mind drives the creativity or our actions. So either one of them comes into hukam, or it obeys the hukam, it is the same, the output or the results will be same.
Gurjeet Veer ji?
Anjali, there are references. देखो, we have to read from within Gurbani. कि मन की मन, I think we have done it. If we can listen. मन की है पहला. We have to. Man comes about 5,000 times in Gurbani, and we have no idea what man is. And he has started with man. ये मन धर्मा, ये मन कर्मा, ये मन पंच तत्व जन्मा. The man has to do the action of religion. Man ne gyan Gurbani. First the word man. If we describe man, then becomes easier. Man comes about 5,000 times in Gurbani. I'll just give you a simple, which Kabir ji has used even in this, within this bavan-akhri. E man karma, e man dharma, e man panch tattva te janma. This man ko khojo bhai. So the whole process is, if we can describe the man, then other things can be very easily followed. Man paida kitchon hunda? Who's man's father? Who's man's mother? Who's man's brother? So those things need, because he has used the word man simply. Kabir ji has used, but the man has to describe from within this bavan-akhri. He will come and say, overall study this, and then we'll understand the whole theme. At this stage, we have to understand that Allah is the one who is breathing inside me. Who is breathing inside me now? Who is keeping my heart going? That is my Allah. Allah Ram ke pind pran. He is keeping my breathing going. That's what. This is also an upkar. He has not been described as with any shape or form, but just an upkar is that if he is breathing inside me, he is possible for my digestion, he is possible for keeping me alive. So that's my Allah, and I have to become one with him. It's split in two parts. Allah's dhyan, whatever we say, is man. The man has to merge. I'll give you just one pankti. ਕੱਟ ਲਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਚਾਹੇ ਮਨ ਮੇ ਮਨ ਉਲਟੋ ਮਰੇ, ਜੇ ਗੁਣ ਹੋਵੇ ਨਾਲ. One mind has to die, but it needs virtues. Man, meh, man, ulto mare. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਲਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ, out of the maya and goes to a J gun, but it has to keep the virtues. So, meri karm hue bin naam hai dukh bhag. Inu only thing we have is the naam, and that naam is nothing but har ka naam. Har ka naam means har's virtues. As the man attains the virtues, the next body will explain. I think we start the next will be better.
The
things clear.
Gurjeet, very nice. Thank you very much. The question is, you didn't explain man. You use the word man, but what man is, it doesn't explain what you just said there, but you said a lot of very nice things, no question about that. But what we are aiming, what I am aiming, Hanji? Man to jyot swarup hai, what does that mean? Hanji,
jyot da matlab hunda wisdom.
Hanji?
Jyot da matlab hunda wisdom.
Hanji.
क्योंकि ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਗੁਰੂ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਸਾਡਾ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਹੀ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਤੇ ਖੜਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਾ. ਗੁਰਮਤ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਗੁਰਮਤ is nothing but Gur's wisdom. Manmat is man's wisdom. So man has got his own mat as well, which is known as manmat. He has to live. Man ki mat tu chhod yaane. There are so many man tyage man ki matdi visare dua dusra dua bhao jiyo. This is all being advised to Man. Man is born out of his Brahm Allah, but he was sent to a school, but he's doing not the study, but everything else other than what it was to do. He's been reminded time and again in Gurbani that your virtues has ultimately become you haven't attained any virtue once you were born. Man maya mein phad rahe ho. You have attached yourself to maya and you have totally forgotten your aim in this life. So he's just trying to wake you up that I came here to get mukti. The mukti is attained when the man accepts that he is Jot Swarup, he is not Sharir Swarup. He thinks he is body, but he is not body. If I can make it clear, I think so. Let me know. We think we are a body. You ask someone, तू की किया गुरुद्वारे की करके आए हैं? कहना मैं लंगर खा के आया. मन ने तो नहीं लंगर खादा ना. Your man hasn't eaten the langar. Your body has. It means we are associating this body with the man. Brahmagyani ka bhojan gyan. So the Jot means it is Gyan and it has to attain its own Gyan, nothing else. It needs to know who I am. मैं Jot Swarup hai, and what happens is Man Harji tere naal hai. The Har is always with you, but you never know because he's behind you. You never have turned back. This the second pankti will explain now. Ulat Ped Man Bedyo. When he turns around, he sees, oh, he's behind me. But if someone is behind you, you could look everywhere. You can't find him because he's behind you.
Hanji.
I think second party will make it more clear. We do the second one, the next one.
Hanji.
Can I make some observations here, please?
Hanji,
Jarur. Hanji, I really appreciate all the thoughts here. To me, when I say manmat, mandimat, what we are talking about, it is when I claim myself to be me, it is my ego or my own mat, my intellect. But that's why I said that I am my mind. So I call it manmat because I is synonymous with my mind. Then there is a man to Jot Swarup, and the way I would interpret that, and correct me, that man is the manifestation of that Jot. It has been created because of Jot. That is, although people talk about that's I spent time on that and I thought man to Jot Swarup hai apna moor pachan. That remember that you are the manifestation of the Jot, and Jot is that mool, and keep that in mind. That's my understanding. But still, we can carry on with that. I think, but it's good to have this dialogue so we can go back and reflect on these. And thank you very much, Gurjeet Virji, for just putting those.
I think now that's wonderful. You have understood it. ये तो नुआ पता लग गया ना कि मन कित्थों पैदा होया. बस यही गुरमत है. The whole gurmat is to tell us where he is born from. इन्हों ये भी क्या है पाप पुन दोनों भाई. He is the brother of his mool as well. Sometimes he is referred to as a father and son. Sometimes they have been referred as brothers. So it's the way they have tried to explain it to us. If we can understand what is man, where it is born from, and where it has to merge, then it is a Puran Brahm. And second party will explain it. Let's read the second. Dilpreet can read it.
Hanji, Dilpreet Virji.
Hanji. ਅਲਹ ਲਹਨ ਤੇ ਭੇਦ ਛੈ ਕਛ ਕਛ ਪਾਇਓ ਭੇਦ ਉਲਟ ਭੇਦ ਮਨ ਵੇਦਿਓ ਪਾਇਓ ਅਭੰਗ ਅਛੇਦ.
Please give your
so the way I was connecting it to the previous one, because there was a belief system or a thought process that he is sitting outside of us or he is separated from us and we can find him and we can meet him. So I think Kabir Sahib is pointing out that when I started the journey to find him, and then on that journey, somewhere I lost the duality and I realized that there is no difference and that he is not separate from me. And then when that difference was lost, that is where I started understanding him and I started getting that what he is, as that duality was getting killed. And then ulat ped man vedyo payo apang ached. Again, in other examples like tu karta tu hua मुझ में रहा न हूं, जब आपा पर का मिट गया, जत देखो तत तू. So that is where when this the line or that we were thinking that he is outside or he is controlling things from outside or he is separate from us, when that got killed, that is where we got his better understanding. So that's how I see this. Thank you.
हाँ जी, थैंक यू वीर जी. परमजीत वीर जी.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
हाँ जी, we can hear you now.
I was reading very similar to Dilpreet Veer ji ne kiya. The way I thought, Allah lahanta pecha kach kach payo pe. What I thought that with gradual understanding of this mystery that who that Allah is, that now I have understood that mystery, and with this understanding and with my focused mind, man vedyo, with my focused mind, I have connected with one who is indestructible and impenetrable. के words में तो लेने in the translation pang and chede. But what I'm saying there is Allah lahanta pe check kach payo pe. As I gradually started to understand that mystery about Allah, and once I proceeded on the path, I have understood the mystery, and now I have focused my mind to connect with him. That's the way I thought it.
ठीक है, थैंक यू वीर जी. आइलिन.
हाँ जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. I was wondering here if I'm having trouble with the che, the meaning of che right here, because I think I understand the gradually obtaining something, this kach payo, and I can't really understand the che. Maybe someone can help with that, and then I could maybe have put my thoughts together.
And sure, Gurjeet Veer ji.
Hanji, the word Ped has two meanings in Gurbani, and Kabir ji has used here for both meanings. Ped means also the difference. Mataped there are differences between my man and chit. And other Ped is the reality. That's what the spies try to do. They try to find the reality. So Allah lahanta. If someone is constantly in connection with his Allah, but who is Allah lahanta? It's my man. That abol is man, which has not been described, but ultimately who has to search for Allah? It's my man. He says that Allah lahanta, if someone is in a gradual process of constantly in connection with his Allah, pay the chair, then the difference between his mind and his mool is slowly getting abolished. Chayda matlab khatam hona, to abolish something. That's why we say the word akshar. Akshar also comes from same word ki shar. Anything which was being destroyed has been, means it's not being destroyed now because it has been given a written form. When it is in a verbal form, you can say 10, the other one say, oh, I heard 15, the third one say 20. But when it is in the written form, that gyan is aksha. It can't be destroyed. But here he says, Allah lahanta pedacha, that I am slowly destroying that difference between my man and my mool. Because the man is slowly understanding that what my mool is, he is now acting like a good child and he's obeying the orders of his father. Kach kach payo paid. But still, because you can't define Allah, the only paid he's trying to tell us is, this paid is reality. The meaning of the second paid is reality. The first paid means differences. He says, I have learned some reality, and because we are at such a low level, he is trying to explain it to us. He has obtained it, but for us, what is it? Ulat paid man bedyu. Now see, the man has come again in the upper wali Pauri, the first two lines. Ulti paid. Now the word ulti is with the sihari. When it changes its direction from its inward journey. Ulat ho gaya hone. It has turned around 180. What Bhagat Namdev says, Bhagat Jana ko dehora fira. There is no temple outside which has rotated. It's my man has rotated. Now it's facing its moon. Now they are basically facing each other. Before, Mantu Jot Sarup mein apna mool pehchan, that was what it was being advised, and now it has basically acted on the advice. What it has obtained? Ulat paid man bedyo. One is banana, is just to tie, as we tie an bedyo. Bedyo means you have engraved him within. Now, ulta hoke, it has come into its hirda, its mool. Payo, what the new spiritual stage now? This is the spiritual stage of Puran Brahma. What I have obtained? Apang. There is a word Saipang, but that doesn't make sense. It has to be Swaipang. And this word is the opposite. Swaipang and Apang are opposite to each other. So when he came, the Brahma
Gujiviri, you're cutting off.
any whole. Okay. Is it better now?
And I think we missed your last sentence.
Acha.
Regarding apang.
Apang is a word which is opposite to Swapang, which is in the Mool Mantra. Swapang means there is a Vava, and I have, you read by Ranti Isi's book, you read few books, they have written Swapang there, but not everyone has written. Swapang is opposite to Apang. When you come to this Pav Sagar, you are Swapang, but when this action happens, what happens? You obtain a spiritual stage of Puran Brahm, which is Apang. Your mind is no more away from the moon. And it is a shade. Now it can't be permeated with Maya. Before, Maya used to make holes in him. These were the vikars. Now it has become free of vikars. That's my understanding.
Anji, thank you, Virchi. Eileen, you want to?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you. I think that what was interesting to me, maybe this is the first time that I've seen it described this way, and maybe there's a nuance I'm not getting, but this when it describes this process, and it says kach kach paro bed, it means somehow to me like it's a gradual process. It's how, I mean, that's how it sounds to me, like it's not sort of a long journey to acquire some kind of enlightenment and that connection of mul and man, but it's more of a gradual or incremental awareness or incremental merging of man and mul. And I think that that's something, I mean, I don't know if that's how other people interpret this, but I think that's something really important, because that's something I always wrestle with as I try to think about this path or this journey. Is there a sense of accomplishment along the way, or is it just kind of like a long study that has a result at the end?
Hanji, sure.
Yeah, yes.
The point what you're raising, Kabir Sahib is not saying that at what time he wrote this one. He's saying that his process was also gradual. Yes, he is of course much higher than us, but he got to that level. This is the process. If we understood everybody else, he also got to this process, to the gradual understanding of Allah and the disparities we have. That's my quick response to that before I go. So, okay.
Sorry, there's a historical thing in there. There's a lot can be covered in these, whatever you have asked. It's a good question. Firstly, you see, people say that I went to that Baba, he put a hand on me and I become mukt. So this is totally against Guru Nanak. Guru Angad came to Guru Nanak and spent 7 years with him. So this process took time. Then Guru Amar Das came to Guru Angad. He spent about 13 years there. So it's a process. It takes time. Guru Nanak was he didn't obtain this in one go. So if some other religions say this, that he went to Allah and he did that and that, he's basically he's also giving them a hint that this is the real process. If you have not obtained this way, then it is hard to believe your story. This is the real process, how we have to do it. And every Bhagat has done that way. There is no, quick recipe to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Viji. Anji, Dilpit Viji, you want to add?
Anji, I think that is where I am also, that there is no quick recipe and there is nothing that somebody else can make us understand. It is the journey we have to take, and it is the hard work which we have to do, understand and implement, and that is the only way out. I think it is emphasizing that point, that without that it is not going to happen. Because see, if you have gone to the engineering school of architects and then if somebody is explaining you the drawing, you can visualize the object. But if you have not gone to that school and somebody tries to explain you the drawing, there is no way you can conceptualize or visualize that what that drawing is representing. So it is the path which we have to take, and there is a hard work, and everyone has to go through it, and slowly it is the gradually we will understand it. Thank you.
Anji, thank you, Viji. And Gurjit Viji, I think you already did, but can you repeat one more time what is the meaning of word abhang and ached?
Apang means it is broken. Bhang hona hunda tuttana. ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਭੰਗ ਕਰਤਾ ਜਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਮੂਡ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰਤਾ. It means it was in one piece and has been broken into two. So when you join them, bhang is just to break anything, and apang means is to bring them together again. So it's again rejoining it, because the man was given to Mool just for this purpose, so that it can go out, wash its filthiness and become one with its mood. But Bhagats have done it. They have done it nicely, and they are giving us an incentive that attain a stage of apang. There are other shabads too where the word apang is written, and it's in the same form. So you will be surprised at why the yogis used to eat pang. The whole purpose of yogi, that word pang, because they want to make their man apang. So that word also, the word pang, also has got a basis in this. What you call as marijuana, is in yogis call it pang, we call it sukha. But the whole purpose of the using the word pang was that I'm trying to make my pang man concentrate. Okay, ached is when the Maya, whenever the man sees Maya from its 7 holes, one way or the other, then it makes a hole in it. So when the mind is no more in the Trikuti, goes into the Hriday, it becomes ached. Then the Maya could never permeate into him and shows its effects.
Okay, thank you, Viji. Eileen, any final comments for today?
I think the one that I would just add that's it's opening up to me as well is not only does that gradual process, if it's a gradual process, not only does it mean that it takes a long time and it's not instant, but also I think it's interesting to think about it as maybe we're gaining and we're accomplishing along the way. And I think that that's something that also it's just a struggle for me to think about this end state, this perfect being, this perfectly connected man and mool together state, that you're driving toward, and that there's no benefit or no accomplishment along the way. But if it's a gradual process, then I must be getting better along the way. And so I think that's really encouraging.
Thank you. Dilpreet ji.
I think that is good. It's a very good analogy that yes, we are accomplishing. Otherwise, there is no charm in this or no excitement. So we are getting rewarded and getting better at it. I think that's a good analogy.